Hey guys, HotRod08 here, and welcome to another Support VOD video review, where each week I'll look at one of your submitted games and go through it, try to give you some tips and tricks as to what you personally can do better in that game, as well as give you, a little bit of praise if you did something well. But if you're interested in submitting one of your own games for a future VOD video review, hit that link in the top right corner of this video. It'll give you all the information for that. But today we are going over a Bronze I support player named Tigor, and he played Braum this game, so we're going to go through it, just see how much we can help him. So rather than that, let's get into it. Alright, so we are in this game now. We've got Tigor on Braum here, and it looks like, once I get that pulled up, it is on the red side. It's going to be Rumble, Kha'Zix, Yasuo, Lucian, and Braum versus, on the blue side, Dr. Mundo, Callista, Malzahar, Singed, and Sona. So, this bot lane is kind of weird just because in this game he is facing, it looks like a Singed AD carry, which is really strange. I'm not going to, I can't really say why they're deciding to do that, but if you're able to gather that the Singed was bot lane, I don't know if you're able to. In the champion select, you might have thought it was a Malzahar. But against that Singed and Sona, you'd think that you'd have more aggression with you and the Lucian as opposed to the Singed and Sona. So I would have, personally, it looks like you ended up going Exhaust. I think I would have actually gone Ignite this game. I really don't know what your thought process was, who you're facing bot lane, if it was Malzahar or not, and you need the Exhaust. But I think with Lucian and Braum being such a good combo with each other, I think it would have been a really good idea to take a little bit more aggressive runes with that. So, your guys' goal, it's going to be more Lucian's goal as opposed to you, since you don't have hard poke. You only have your Q, especially since you're a scaling champion. And Sona is as well, but you're going to want to try to harass as much as you can. Like right there, yeah, that's perfect to try to go in. She's possibly ruining herself. Looks like you guys are taking a lot of damage, though, from that. Unfortunately, you weren't able to get the kill on the Sona. Also looks like you're unfortunate with your Q hit right there. So yeah, it's going to be a pickup for them, which is really unfortunate because it's going to give a lot of power to that Singed that normally shouldn't have power. So on the level 1, you really shouldn't be that aggressive unless you 100% know that you're going to be able to kill the person. Just because you saw in all of the minions that were here when you flashed into that, you took quite a lot of damage. So just choosing different timings might be better for you. Just getting a little bit more of a judgment as to when to go and not, because this should be a pretty easy lane if you give the Lucian time to scale, or not scale, in order to poke down this bot lane. So I see, at least early, you haven't hit a lot of your Qs. You'll just want to be a little bit, just make sure you're not wasting all of your mana on just trying to spam and not getting the hits off. One other thing I noticed there, though, you have that relic shield. So you were hitting the range minions, which after the nerfs that they got with the relic shield, they really aren't worth that much. And you really should wait until you got some at least melee minions up. If not, wait for the cannon to come up so you will have been able to get more gold on that and actually be able to get some more money off it. I would save off. Hold off, though. Don't just be a little patient and wait for those melee minions as opposed to... you get this? That's pretty good. You're taking a lot of minion damage yet again, though. So now if you already had like full charges and you really wanted to get the ranged minion just to start the refresh up again, you could, but you should have only taken one at that point, not both of them, as you didn't really need to do that immediately. Now I see here, wow, I'm actually surprised Lucian was able to get that kill. I see here that you're hanging really far back, though. If you don't think that you need to be in this lane anymore, you should be pinging to your AD carry, telling him that you shouldn't be there, as opposed to just standing too far back and letting him get shot. Now, he was lucky to get that kill on Sona, which I wasn't expecting. You guys also should be hard pushing this so you can get back to base, because as soon as Sona gets back, you're going to lose all priority that you have. You two don't have the mana to do anything. So I don't know what the Lucian is doing. You should personally be pushing a lot, though. And you're too far forward when you need to go back. And you miss another Q yet again, which could have made the difference between him getting stunned and not. You're lucky there's not retaliation on that. But you really should have just left him a little earlier, because you don't want both die when it's almost hopeless that he was going to die anyways, because most likely that exhaust at that point wasn't going to do anything. So you should have not risked your own life going back, and also the summoner spell when there's less than like a 5% chance of that working. So let me get my notes down real quick. I'm wondering what is happening down here. Wow, that was really close. Sucks to be him, though. Well, you got a good Q. I was getting the very last notes. Wow, she barely got out of there. So, you got a nice Q. You're able to get her mana down. So that was really good. I was just getting my last few notes there for... Yeah, so I can remember that for later. But that was good to be able to go on that aggression. Now, you see back here that she was killing your ward. You should have gone back just a little faster. See how it's going to work out. At this point, I don't know why this Malzahar, they're not pinging him to come. Not a nice job on his part. I don't know what that Malzahar is doing, though. He really should be saving his ally, but that's good for you at least. So, let's see. The first time you upgrade, you got to the Targon's Brace. You got your Boots of Speed, which is alright. I guess there's some flexibility you can do with that. So, overall, it seems like a pretty simple lane. You haven't personally died yet. Your AD carry isn't exactly doing the best. It looks like he's going in just being a little bit too aggressive, fighting through a lot of minions and taking a lot of damage from it. Let's see. He shouldn't be getting caught, especially when he was level 6. That could have been a death if he would have tried to go in that, if Sona was just in a tiny bit of position. See, I saw you again here. You hit yet another ranged minion. You really should be saving up on the melee minions, as they do give you more gold in the range. And yes, now you're starting to beat on that can. We'll see if you can get it. Man, are you going to make it out of that? Wow, that was really close. You guys seem to be so close to actually getting those kills, and you're just not able to get the final damage out of it in order to make it work. And it seems like they're both able to regen a pretty decent bit. And There you go. Finally, I was about to say it's looking like yet again that someone was going to barely get away, but you were able to get it through. So I'd be looking at my objectives at this point. I don't know where he's going. He's just seeing if he was being greedy, I guess. So you have a mountain out, but it's not the biggest of deals to get early in Dragon Choice, so it is okay to get some damage on this. You don't want to stay too long here, though, just because I don't think you're going to be able to get this turret, and you guys really have to get back to base. And it's not going to be 100% sure if you're actually going to be able to push this. Also, he's being lucky. But, you know, he's having a really hard time pushing this lane at the moment. If he was just a little more aggressive, yep, like right now. I don't know if they're going to be able to get the kill on you. It looks like there's a lot of close fights between you guys. You're able to make it out of there, but it's pretty risky for you guys, and you guys still on a lower health deficit and mana deficit just because you waited so long. Now you have some really bad timings. To get back to base, you're going to lose these minions and the experience coming out of it, and he's just going to run behind and kill all the minions to make that really easy cleanup. But your back timer was really bad just because you did that. Now, I am curious here. I'm looking at your item. I see that you ended up going with the Ionian Boots of the City. I'm kind of questioning why you would do that. Just because Braum is supposed to be more of a tank and he's not really that cooldown reliant. So I wouldn't go out of your way for the Ionian Boots of Lucidity. In this case, the boots you should be thinking about would be either either Boots of Mobility or Mercury Treads or Ninja Tabby, depending on what you're facing. You're facing a lot of magic damage bottom, as well as CC. So going the Mercury Treads might have been a correct idea. Man, you both got hit by that too. And yep, you should be running at this point because you know she has the ultimate. So we'll see if you're actually gonna make this one barely. But I think you guys, at least for your boot choices, I don't think that Boots of Lucidity are going to be the best. If you wanted to roam, you could have gone to Boots of Mobility, but I would have personally gone something a little more defensive. They've got, let's see, they've got Dr. Mundo, which can put a lot of slowing effects on you, make it really hard to run. Kindred doesn't have too much CC you have to worry about, but she's the only AD on their team too, so I wouldn't waste about the Ninja Tabby on that. And you've got some other magic damage as well, some slows they're putting out, so I really would go the Mercury Treads this game as opposed to Boots of Lucidity. You can look up the play rates and how well the pros do with each of the boots, but I'm pretty sure that's not going to be the Boots of Lucidity that are going to be the best for him. And if this early with the extra regen you could have gotten, I probably would have also upgraded Targon's Brace all the way to the highest item to get the extra charges and get the extra resists. And I was trying to see if you had your ult. Doesn't look like you do. So trade 1 for 1. It doesn't look like it looks like that Lucian was being a little greedy. So I was about to say, you don't know where the jungler is at this point. You don't have too many wards. You really have no ward coverage on this bomb side, but you can see Kindred top, so it's not as bad. You just want to make sure you're really low health at the moment, so anyone coming out of nowhere is basically going to kill you. Now, unfortunately, it looks like your AD carry isn't having the best of times either. I see now you're getting your possible upgrade to Targon's Brace. So we'll have done that first, but better late than never. You got a couple health pots. Control ward, that's fine. And really, at this point, you're going to have to keep it chill just because Lucian isn't in the game anymore. I hope it's not going to be a whole game thing. That's not going to be fun to look at all. But you really should be chilling at this point. If it's 4v5, you want to do everything in your power not to start fights. And I see that your guys are looking for opportunities, even though you don't know exactly where that, like, Sona is. You don't have a lot of coverage. It works out, it looks like. But when your Lucian is not here, you really need to not be risky. You're also chasing too much when you need to be with these guys, helping them. If anyone else came around the corner, as I said earlier, since you're a man down, you have no idea who could have just gone you and killed you. So I don't think you had full vision to see everybody in that fight. You're also losing this bomb turret, which is, and all the XP along with these minions too, which is not worth, not really worth what you ended up getting out of that. And Lucian's coming back now, but you know, in that short time he was gone, you've already lost a pretty decent amount of stuff, and that turret really does make a difference too. So between you chasing and your team being too aggressive without an ally here, those would be your mistakes at that moment. Well, that worked. He's going for... if I were you, I would get out of there. You don't... Yeah, there's no other allies rather than him around. And you being this aggressive, you don't have the priority here, so you're going to be taking a lot of free damage. And you might live, it looks like. Yeah, you still need to get out of there. You have not enough health to do anything about that. You're lucky that you survived that one, because with your ally only having like 200 health, there's really no point of staying around for him and trying to save him. So having that map awareness there and realizing that there's no allies down to help you if that went wrong, as well as knowing that your ally was down and you probably shouldn't be picking up fights, that can be a mistake that just throws this game from you being a man down to just completely out of control, even though that Lucian did finally come back, which is what you're hoping for. So ended up missing another Q there. I was trying to figure out where your Lucian was. He was apparently dead. I didn't think he was dead at that second. You're taking a lot of damage, though, from his poison, specifically chasing, which isn't really netting anything at the moment. You have your ult up now if something was going to go your way, but they got a lot of ways to prevent that death from Kindred's abilities to you didn't have your AD carry around either, so just have to be careful on the aggression, how much poke you're taking for free as you're in those skirmishes. So if you have an extra ward, I would ward at least right here, make sure that no one was going to try to jump over and take that dragon or anything. This guy is way out of position. If you could get your allies to follow, that'd be really good. Just because he is so far out of position. You should have wrapped around to the back if you had enough vision to see where he was. Do that. I think he tried to ult, yeah, and yeah, got lucky. No, he didn't have his ult. So it looks like that the Yasuo is doing pretty well this game. You're back at base, starting to regen up. You completed your Remnant Aspect. Now, I'm curious as to what you're going to go this game. If I were you, it depends on what you want to prioritize. If you want to prioritize some durability with their magic damage, go something with some magic resist. Such as you could go the Locket, but I don't see having a lot of health out here yet in order to make a lot of use of it. Locket would help against the 4 magic dealers if you see yourself starting to get burst down. What I would look into, though, if you don't think you need the full magic damage, was probably Zeke's. I would think that Zeke should be a really good item here, just because it could go really well on your Yasuo, since he's doing really well at the moment, and give him some extra damage, keep him a little more protected if you're around him and peeling for him. And it would also give you the armor durability and some magic durability as well in order to keep that. But with you getting another health item, I don't see that happening. Now, the second option, which is what I'm also hoping that you're thinking of, is that Knight's Vow, which would also work really well with the Yasuo that's ahead. Now, you do have Lucian, but he's 3-7 at the moment, and your Yasuo is being a lot more reliable, as well as getting higher farm, getting more kills, dying less. So that would be who I'd prioritize giving that Knight's Vow this game. You're hanging around him, you're giving him some protection that he needs. So you're hovering around the correct person, you're following him, which is what you need to do. Now, Kha'Zix is doing a pretty good job splitting at the moment. I'm trying to figure out what you guys are doing. As soon as you see this mill tower pushing so much and your Kha'Zix bomb lane, you really shouldn't be fidgeting around top side map. You really should be moving more to that center, because you know that's the target they're going to go for. Especially since it was, wow, well, that sucks. Since you knew that that was going to be their next target. Yeah. I think when the Yasuo was gone from that fight, I would have stopped trying to chase it and do anything with it. And I would have just gone back and tried to save yourself, just because he's the main damage on your team. And with him gone, your kill potential is a lot less. This guy just got double kill 1v2ing it. So you can see the rest of your team is just not that strong at the moment. So when your Yasuo died, I think it will have backed off from the fight yourself and save yourself a unnecessary death there. So, yep, it looks like I'm correct. You're going to go that Knight's Vow, which I would say, as long as you're not getting fully bursted down by them, which you're not, you're living for a little bit, but that would be the second best option this game for that Yasuo, keeping him alive. I just would personally want just a little bit of magic resist in my build, just because there are so many magic damage users on their team that I probably would have gone to Zeke's first. It will have given some damage to him and his output, as well as giving you a slow that you could have used, as opposed to just health reduction and having no durability for yourself. Because it's hard for you to be alive for their users of magic damage and you have nothing against that, and you're supposed to be a melee tank. So you really should be pinging this Yasuo. What is he doing? You really should be pinging him to try to join your team, given the need help signal in the center, because he's going to be the main person. It's going to help you. Looks like they're just wasting a lot of abilities there, not really getting too much off. You have 4 wards. Ooh, that's not a good place for him. If I were you, I would have used your ult. I think you used it just a little bit too late there. I think you should have used it just a little sooner. And you need to get out of there. You're way too low. There's just nothing you can do in this fight. It's not worth you dying. You're not doing anything useful. You're just going to die because of that too. Yep. That was a needless death. So I think you stay around and fights too much. When you're that low, clearly there's just nothing else you can do. And you might get one Q in, but you're going to waste time. You died exactly to Malzahar's Q just reaching from you from, I think it was Lucian's death. So staying around fights too long is also a mistake that you're doing. Gonna work. Get you guys another kill. If I were you guys, they haven't taken this yet. That needs to be your priority. Yep, I see someone pinging to come down here. If it's not you doing it, just make sure that you are the one that is signaling you should be getting this. You should also be pinging this guy to get away, as I don't even know how he's alive. So if you could, yeah, you got a ward right there, so you have decent visibility. So that was fine. There's your ult. I was wondering where you're gonna use it. I couldn't tell whether you had it up or not, so I can't really get that much of a comment there. If you just use it immediately, you're holding off. Just make sure that if you know your team's gonna be aggressive, use it pretty early, as waiting for later isn't necessarily better. This is yet again another spot. You're not going to regen this health up. There's nothing. You can ping your allies to possibly do something. But when you have like 100, you have 300 health, and you were at 200 a little bit ago. You guys are too low. You do have a people advantage, but just backing off is the safer bet. You're not in a rush at the moment. You dying needlessly at this point can be the difference between your enemies getting the Baron and you coming back and getting that Baron. So being more careful on that front, just make sure you don't overstay. I will say that you having only 848 gold at 26 minutes in the game for the eye is pretty bad, which I'm assuming it should be if you're taking some more time to kill those minions, to really focus on getting those cam minions and the melee minions. You should be close to like 1300 at this point, 26 minutes in the game. So with you having only 850 gold, you haven't even completed your first item yet. It's 27 minutes in the game, which is way too long. You should already be able to have something completed. You're not hitting minions enough. You're not focusing on that aspect. Also, your team is down here. You should have been going down a long time ago in order to help them. I know you're warding up the Baron side, which is good. You got some wards. That should probably be just a little bit deeper if you can, at least at the very top of that bloom to get more vision. But you should have been going mid as soon as you saw that there was a fight going out. Support is someone that should definitely not be alone. If you see that there's some action happening, you definitely need to follow what your team is doing. Yeah, it's fine to go back to base at the moment. He was able to get that mid tower. That's fine. He's just wave playing. They are going way deeper than they should be. I'm actually gonna get that though. Yeah. Looks like probably should have used that yet again just a little earlier. So I see that you're able to get that Knight's Vow. And Lucian is starting to do gradually better now. But if the Yasuo is next to you, I still think that Yasuo would be a better target in this game for the Knight's Vow, just because he's doing overall probably more damage and being more reliable in these fights. Yeah, you're gonna die right there. Just know that your Knight's Vow doesn't have to be always on the AD carry, though. That was really good on his part. So I'm waiting until you're alive again. 15 seconds. Kind of interested in seeing exactly what you go for the next item, just because 29 minutes in the game. You don't have a back radical. You're only 3-0-3-13. So it's pretty good, but I just feel like you're too far behind on items. 30 minutes in the game, you shouldn't just have one actual completed item. The gold item's nice to have, but it's not anything rather than health, and the boots are really cheap items. You only have one completed item, and you only have one part of your next completed item. So I feel like you're behind on gold just because you're not. Yeah, you're still at 868. You still haven't gotten a single gold value off of a minion for at least, I think the last time I talked about it was 26 minutes in the game. So 4 minutes you have not killed a single minion for your team. And that is really putting your gold values behind. So that's going to be another focus point too. So, Baron is up. I forget, that's not it. There, so this is your guys' vision. So you got pretty decently deep. Your best side of the map at the moment is your top side, just because it's pushing so much. So you probably could get a ward about right there and not been too bad if you could have got your allies to be there with you. What's the next dragon showing up? Ocean. That's not really a big... that's not really a big deal. If you drop the ocean, it's not going to be game-breaking. So you're getting behind them. I'm looking what the Yasuo and Lucian are doing. They're not with you guys, so I don't know how much you can all see here. But I think it's okay for you to be aggressive. You got the auto attacks. So keep it alive. He had too much health regen, so weren't able to get through it. So did you finally kill? Yeah, you killed a couple minions there. Still don't have too much. Ward. Yet again, this ocean is up. You need to tell your allies what the priority is going to be, and whether you guys are going to prioritize this Baron or Dragon, because you have a lot more map control up here since your minion waves are pushed. So you should be getting up here, trying to ping your team that they need to be going to Baron, because that's the next goal, and that's your top side of the map is where your strengths are. I wouldn't be worrying about this, and he's being pretty risky at the moment. If you see them down here, I would actually abandon your Baron warding, just because you need to get into your teammates in case they get in trouble, like this. So as soon as you see them down here, you should either be telling them to get off of it, or you should be going there to try to help them. Now, another thing, if allies are taking your taking the minion gold off you, that can be something you can say in the chat, that you need to get those minion kills for your gold. I sometimes even do that in diamond. So this is another thing I still see that looks like that you still have the Lucian targeted. That was a really good rumble ult. I think you're just a little bit off on your mark on your own ult. That was a good attempt to follow up on that. Yeah, you're still attached to this Lucian, which I still think you should be on the Yasuo, since he's overall doing better at the moment. I think that'd be your better choice. It doesn't always have to be the AD carry, and you can have the Knight's Vow attached to your Yasuo, and then actually peel for your Lucian at the same time. You'll still be close enough that you can take some of that absorption from Yasuo. So I'm still curious as to what you're going. You got the double magic mantles and armor. I'm assuming from the looks of it You're trying to go Locket of the Iron Solari. Which I think there's still some better itemizations. They do have a lot of magic on their team, yes. But there's not... Usually I get Locket for when someone has a lot of burst, and that extra shield can make the difference between living and dying. They don't really have a lot of burst on their team. No one here is really an assassin. The closest you've got is Malzahar keeping someone locked, but that's about the only thing. So I don't know if Locket, with it being nerfed, is a good idea. If I were you, I'd be telling him to back off that Baron, though, just because you guys don't have the vision. He's absolutely getting destroyed, whereas you could have possibly said something to him and kept him alive. So you guys have to make a decision at this point, because you got both mid and bomb pushing. You need to either start this Baron up immediately, or you need to get back and push those side waves, because right now you guys are just kind of wasting time. Yeah, because they're just going to stay here and try to take this Baron. You guys aren't healthy enough, so you've overstayed, most likely. If I were you, if he's already going back, I would be trying to take this Baron at this point. You have some vision. You have a couple of wards. It looks like you can ward. You really should. So you're able to help them with that fight. That was a pretty good fight in there. Having fun at base, keeping it together, but you guys were able to win on both fronts. Get that done. So now you just have to wait for your inhibitors to come up. That's going to be your main goal. Not pushing out too far, not getting picked. Telling your allies to back off if they're going too far. And yeah, I saw you, you know, have that Locket. So what, you're level 14. So with 30 plus 15 per level, 14 times 15, 150. So you're doing 210 shield plus 152 shield per your ratio. So you're having about 360 shield that is on a pretty fast decay. So the shield isn't actually that wonderful on him. You are a team fighting champion, so it is. And as I'm saying that, it looks like you just wasted that Locket. So now it's just pure. You guys really should be backing off on here, though. You only have 3 people. You've got him bot lane and Lucian top. You should be pinging your allies to go back. You need to be taking control of them and telling them what to do. Oh, I see you have that Yasuo hooked up now, finally. That's good. I think with Yasuo being the one that's going to be your win condition in this game, in terms of team fights, he's doing a really good job of assassination, so he's just not a team fighter. I would have gone to Zeke's if I were you, because you don't need a lot. You know, like, you're not getting bursted down by these magic resist champions, and their Callista is, or Kindred is doing pretty good. At the moment, so that extra attack or armor isn't going to be too bad to get versus her. And that Zeke's would really give the Yasuo or the Lucian some extra burst damage. That was a really good ult from Sona. So you've still got your ult. You're holding off on that, keeping live fire. Yep. Whoever's pinging it, you guys need to get back. If you have an extra ward, you don't have any wards at the moment, so never mind on that. Yep, you guys really just need to get back to base. This does seem kind of risky. I don't really feel like you guys have... I guess you do have pretty good vision. If you add that, such a good position, they don't have any vision over that, so it's not the worst call. I guess it is risky, though, just because you have double inhibitors down. So if you guys can keep together, you need to be telling these guys to get back, though, because you guys need some team fights as opposed to being apart. So I see the next thing you're going is the Forbidden Idol, so I'm wondering what enchant item you're going with this game now. Since you're not supposed to be a full tank, you're just supposed to be a pseudo tank. I don't have a problem with you going enchanter item next. Although since you did go the locket, I would be looking for more health items just to have it scale better. But the enchanter item isn't the worst idea either. I do see people pinging them away, which is good. But you guys should also be getting back just to make sure that nothing crazy is going to happen here. So you end up getting your towers back. You got this pushing. I don't know why he's leaving. That was a mistake on his part. Yep, he's gonna flash away. So, at this point, you guys really need to be careful on your aggression. Just because you are a man down and anything that happens, you're gonna be losing some more inhibitors. You missed that Q again, even though it was at point blank range. I've mentioned before, just working on that accuracy of your abilities would really help you as well. And that's their death timer, so they're all done for at least another 20 seconds. I think this is a bad call on your guys' part. They're about to... I guess that's low enough. Alright, so that's already gone. You guys should be backing off this. They're going to be up in 2 seconds. I think this is a little too risky because this is going to happen. And he's going to get all the cleavers. And you should be running away, though. There's no... Oh, you're right there. He should be running away. My bad. Yeah, I think you guys overstayed. And if you both would have died, it could have gone... decently disastrous, although Baron's not up in a minute and a half, so he would be alive before that. I still will not risk it. I guess one death when they're not going to be able to get another objective over it is a good trade, but it could have gone just a little worse. Now, I see you got the Mikhails, so I like not too many people get defensive or Mikhails, so I'm glad you're seeing the importance of it because it can be used against the Sona ult. I'm not sure if it could be used against Senja's slow or Mundo's slow. I think you can. It's not going to if you're getting it for the Malzahar ult, though, I don't think it works against his ult. I could be wrong there, but I'm pretty sure it doesn't. But it gives you some magic resist too. You're just getting a lot of magic resist versus them, so it's not bad. I'm still just gonna say that I don't think the locket is still a correct choice in this. I think it still would have been a good idea to get that Zeke. Would have been a really good extra damage idea, and as well as get a little bit of peel. But the Mikhails can have some use out of it as long as you know how to use that itself. That was a nice ult of his. So let's see your vision real quick. So yep, you should be with your teammates just because they're all in the bush and you've really got to make sure you can help them. I think you should be, yep, turning around. I'm glad you did just because you saw your flank was getting hit. Yep, you gotta stay in that circle to keep alive. Wow. So, from the time it looks like it's not gonna last too much longer of a game, we're already 43 minutes in, and your death timer is gonna be really high. That was just a bad fight. You ended up getting flanked. That could have been more your allies to keep them alive. With, I think, Kha'Zix's that was his second death in the game. That's when you lost. With him getting flanked. That was really bad for you guys. You could have saved your ult to try to peel for the Malzahar ult. You know, you have the Mikhail's, but that's not going to do anything against his ult. But having your ult and saving it for that Malzahar ult could have saved you there. I saw you left a few seconds early, so I highly assume that you weren't exactly the happiest with the result of that. It's not like anyone obviously has to be happy about losing. It looks like you did leave just a little early, though. So it wasn't a bad game. You didn't have too many kills there, but there were a few things that I wrote down to help you in that game. First one, early on, I said that Relic Shield, make sure that you're hitting the melee minions and the cannon minions as often as possible, both in the laning phase and outside of it, as opposed to going those range minions, as these are worth less gold than the melee minions, especially cannon minions, now that they're worth up to 90 gold, are really valuable to get. So focusing those, looking ahead in the waves to see when the cannon minions coming up, and kind of planning on getting that gold. I think you need to work on your Q skill shot. I think you missed just a little bit too many Qs that were in critical moments. There are a few fights where you're over here and you tried to, or there's another one down here I think I saw that was that you tried to melee hit somebody with your Q and ended up flying just right next to them. So working on hitting your skill shots, I think, is another thing that would really help you. Landing just a few more of those, I think, would change some of the fights you're in. There's a few times where you're trying to save Lucian and your other teammates when they had only like a 5% chance of living. You need to recognize that if they have such a low chance of living, there's no point of trying to help them, because if you help them and then you die yourself, it's your fault that you ended up dying. It's not your allies' fault for getting caught out. You're equally in fault of staying around and dying, and any death can make a huge difference in this game. So if someone looks like they're just going to die, just leave them. It's not worth losing your own life over it, too. Next thing I wrote down was the ionizations. In this game, I think it would have been better to go the Zeeks at the beginning, just because they had some magic resist. People that you could have got the extra durability. Although Knight's Vow is the second best choice I would have given you, so it's not too awfully bad just to go that. But I think you should have leashed it to the Yasuo early. Just make sure early in the game you don't have to be attached to your AD carry if he's not doing well. Locket, well, I could see why you're getting the iron, because they have a lot of magic damage. I don't think you have a lot of health in order to scale well with it, so I would have skipped out personally on the Locket and gone for something else. We've already talked about those options. The Boots of Lucidity, I think you could have really used the extra 25 magic resist from the Mercury Treads early, as opposed to getting that extra cooldown reduction on Braum, because he's not one of the supports that need to spam his abilities to be successful. So rushing the Lucidity Boots, I don't think was a good choice. You can look up some other Braum builds on like ProGuides.com, see how the other professionals are playing him. Next thing I wrote down was being aggressive when you're a man down, when Lucian was out of the game. You should have be playing a lot more passively at that point, just because that fight could have gone really south if you would have not played that correctly, and you could have lost the game a lot earlier if you would have just died a few too many times and gotten too many objectives lost, just because you weren't being patient for that Lucian to come back. So just realizing how many people are around you, calculating whether it's an actual good idea to fight or not, is a good idea for you. When you're really, really low health and you only have like 200 health, you really need to just back off of fights and not die, get back to base and regen up. It's not worth it's not worth possibly dying just hanging around the back of a fight and seeing if you can be useful without 100 health, because it's really hard to be useful with 100 health without getting yourself killed. And deaths in this game can definitely make a difference. If it's you and an ally left, it's going to be a lot easier to like defend a base or an objective than it's just going to be with that one person alive. So valuing your life, don't just suicide or die for the easiest of things. Be careful. The final thing we've already talked about, the relic shield. In the lane, getting the correct minions. You also, in the middle of the game, need to plan out on getting your own income too and killing minions, because it was until almost like 28 minutes or something until you're able to complete the Knight's Vow and start getting on different items. It might have been a little earlier than that, but you weren't able to get. You had like Knight's Vow, one of the magic resist items that only at the very beginning one not completed by like 26, 27 minutes in the game, because you had such low income on the eye of the aspect. So you need to be going out of your way, making sure that you're getting gold off that, because 44 minutes in the game, only having 1,300 gold on that is just really, really low. It should be at 44 minutes of the game, at least 2,500 gold, if you're staying on top of that. But that's all the criticisms I've had for this game. It wasn't too bad of a game for you either. You just lost that one crucial team fight when you're getting flanked. You turn your attention to the one guy over here when your Khaziks ended up getting flanked by the Malzahar. You should have stayed around, hover around the squishies more, as opposed to trying to frontline the Dr. Mundo, which wasn't going to do a lot. But that's definitely something you learn in the future. But I hope you enjoyed this VOD review of your game. Hopefully you're going to be able to learn something. Again, if you yourself want to have a future game reviewed on this channel, you can go in the description, look for that tutorial onto how to submit a game, and I would love to have one of your games submitted for a future review. If you guys enjoyed this video, please like it below, as it really helps me out, and hit that notification bell and the subscribe button to keep up the latest content that I release. But rather than that, you guys have a great day today. Thanks much.